Hi everyone, it's MJ, and in this video we're talking about Discovery Bank. And they've caused quite a bit of controversy here in South Africa, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. But first off, let me just say that I am a little bit biased towards Discovery, and that is because they are an actuarial firm. So I'm under the assumption that everything that they've done has been very well thought out. However, not a lot of people agree with me. In fact, Discovery has upset quite a lot of people. What they've done is they've said that customers of the bank will be given free equity in the business. Up to 10% of the business will be given as free equity to the customers if the customers are black. And you can imagine a little bit of the uproar that is happening here. The white people are very offended. They're calling this racist, and some are threatening to cancel their medical aid with Discovery. And the interesting thing is there's also some black people who are upset with Discovery. The one tweet I read, someone said only 10%. They said black people are the majority of South Africa. We should be given 90%. And this ties in quite a lot with what we were talking about in the previous video, where we were talking about, financial markets and how should capital be allocated. And the one theory is that capital should be allocated evenly. The other theory is that capital should be allocated efficiently. In South Africa, we try and do both, and we end up doing neither. And that's why we've upset both people on these sides of the camps. The people who want it evenly are saying that 10% is not enough, and the people who want efficiently, any amount is going to be upsetting towards them. So yeah, this is South Africa that we live in. But I don't think Discovery is racist. And this is something that a lot of people on Twitter are saying. They're saying, Discovery's racist because they're giving 10% only to black people and not to white people and da. So the reason why I'm saying Discovery is not racist is because this rule that they're implementing is not determined by them. So in South Africa, we have something called Black Economic Empowerment. And it was a very poor attempt to try and transform the country and alleviate for the sins of apartheid. Now, the reason why I say it's poor is because this is the problem with BEE. BEE was designed to address inequality, but in fact, it's been doing the reverse. Because let me give you a quick little example, okay? BEE says that companies need to have a percentage of their business owned by black people. Now, corporates can make a decision. Should we give a little bit of equity to a lot of people and, just bring up the poor people in our nation and enrich everyone? Or should we give a lot of equity to just a few key individual people? And the reason why they focus on giving a lot of equity to just a few key individuals is because these key individuals have got business connections. They've got economic advantages that they can offer these corporates that the millions of poor people cannot do. So what ends up happening in South Africa is you have a few people who qualify as BEE getting all of the deals. And what this does is it's not sorting out inequality. If anything, it is growing inequality and creating a further divide. And that's why I say it was poorly designed, because one thing that would have made it a lot more efficient at evenly distributing the wealth would have been if they said that BEE advantage only applies to one individual once. So if someone gets a share of a company, it should be like, okay, great. The next company that comes around to issue shares, somebody else should get that. But instead, what's happening in South Africa is you have a few people who are getting all of the shares, and it makes sense for the corporates because they're ticking a regulation box and they're getting a key economic partner who can connect them with all these other businesses. But what it's doing is it's not addressing transformation and the sins of apartheid. And that's why I think Discovery have actually been quite clever. Or not even just clever, I think they've been more ethical than these other businesses. By Discovery saying, we're not going to give this 10% to a key individual and get economic benefits from it. Instead, we're going to give this 10% to lots and lots of people and try and support the country and try and alleviate poverty and address inequality that way. So I actually think Discovery, I don't think people should be hating on Discovery for being racist. If anything, Discovery are doing a much better job than the other corporates in addressing inequality in South Africa. But we're going to end off this video by just talking more about the brilliance of Discovery. Because in order for something to go viral these days, it needs to be controversial. It needs to upset people. It needs to make some people happy. It needs people to take two sides. And that's exactly what this has done. We've seen a lot of people getting upset about Discovery, whereas technically they should be getting upset with the government policy if they have a problem with BEE. And we're seeing other people that are thinking this is a really great idea, and there's a whole bunch of Twitter wars going on. And of course, that type of engagement pushes these things to the top according to social media algorithms. So I think Discovery is getting a lot of free publicity. I mean, even look at me. I'm making a YouTube channel, a YouTube video about this, giving them some free publicity because it is such a controversial topic. So I think it is something that has been well thought out. I think they've taken the BEE spirit, the whole idea to have transformation in our country and help the people. I think they've really done that better than corporates who take the BEE share and give it to one key individual, make him even richer just to get a little bit of benefits, and then just to tick the box and pretend to be like, oh look, we're helping the poor. But of course, it is a controversial topic. And I know majority of my subscribers aren't South African. I know you guys I think South Africans only make up the third biggest portion on this channel. But I do want to encourage maybe the non-South Africans to check out Discovery Bank. They are doing some cool things with behavioral models and linking medical aid with credit scores. And there's a lot of fascinating stuff happening there. And we'll maybe talk about it in another video where I want to compare all the new South African banks that are coming up, because we're getting a lot of new banks are coming to South Africa. Our financial district is getting disrupted, and it is a very, very exciting place to be right now. But for the South Africans, what are your guys' thoughts on this 10% thing? Do you think it's unfair? Do you think it's being implemented better than other corporates? I want to know your opinion. Let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep well. Cheers.